Hello, my name is Jerry Pizet, and I'm Program Manager of Database Systems Corp. Call Reassurance program known as CARE. This tutorial also assumes you have reviewed the information found at any of the following links, and you are therefore familiar with how the service works in general, regardless of the delivery method. Simply stated, CARE was designed to contact individuals who typically live alone, such as seniors or those who are homebound, or others needing reminders to perform frequent actions, such as taking medications, and much more. In short, the contact to citizens is made by phone to ensure their well-being or to remind them to perform certain actions. These calls are typically made daily, but citizens can be called per their own individual schedule and frequency. Let's now see how CARE generally works. The CARE program works by calling subscribers daily to query their response for either a request for help or to indicate they are okay for today. The same subscriber can also optionally call into the CARE system to indicate they are okay as well, which would also cancel any additional calls scheduled for that same day. Up to 9 calls per day are supported, and each message heard by the subscriber may be personalized in your own voice, or for that matter heard in any language. If the subscriber requests help or has not responded to 4 CARE calls over a 1-hour period and has not called in, then up to 2 contacts are then notified by phone, email, and/or text. Please note, alerted contacts do not have to be in close proximity to the subscribers themselves, but instead, and just like the subscribers, need only be located anywhere telephone service and internet is available. However, in all cases, alerted contacts must know how to ensure the well-being of the subscriber. Please note, emergency numbers such as 911 may not be an alerted contact. In summary, the eCare service is simple in concept, but powerful in delivery and value. Is there any doubt?
Please note that at the time of producing this tutorial, our premise-based computer system is compatible with any computer running the Windows 11 operating system. However, we also offer 3 possible internet options for the same functionality. They are known as eCare Individual, eCare Worldwide, and eCare Private Label. This tutorial not only focuses on setting up our ProCare computer system, but also provides detailed instructions for managing all subscribers who will be monitored by the ProCare system. The eCare computer system is typically used by police and sheriff departments, senior centers, healthcare providers, caregiving organizations, senior living facilities, homeowner associations, embassies that care about foreign nationals, families, and entrepreneurs. These are entities that understand they will be licensing the ProCare computer system, which allows them to administrate the CARE functionality for thousands of citizens via a Windows computer. Let's boot up the ProCare system and get started. After the computer finishes powering on and Windows is loaded, simply double-click the blue Care Manager icon located on the desktop. Once the Care Manager has started, you'll see the master menu. This is the central hub where administrators manage all aspects of Call Reassurance. At the very top of the ProCare system window, you'll notice the standard Windows 11 title bar. This bar contains standard Windows commands such as File, Reports, Help, as well as the Minimize, Maximize, and Close buttons. And unless you are already familiar with these Windows features, it is best to avoid using them, as they are not related to any of ProCare's core functions. In addition, you'll also see 3 ProCare-specific icons that serve as quick links to features most frequently used by CARE administrators. They are the Citizen Master List, Reports, and finally, the default recording menu.
From this menu, the care administrator can add 4 different types of citizens, see previous monetary transactions, display call reports, record default audio.
This function provides the ability to change what all citizens will hear when they answer their phones. Although the system has generic default messages that's comprised by 4 distinct elements, the administrator can change any or all of these using this function. It should be noted, however, that each individual citizen can have theirs changed from the organization's default to one that is very specific to each of them.
Before actually adding citizens to the database, care administrators should set the international phone preferences. Setting this phone preference eliminates administrators having to enter the country code whenever required to enter phone numbers. For example purposes, I'll set the default country code to the USA, Canada. Okay, it's now time to add a citizen to our database. I'll choose Reassurance Only Citizen. This is an individual that typically receives 1 call per day, every day of the week. I'll make my selection, at which time I'm required to provide a unique label for the citizen. This label could be something as simple as last name, first name, or maybe first name with middle initial, or perhaps only a code that would nonetheless uniquely identify a specific person. I'll use last name, middle initial, followed by a special code. At this time, the system will return the care administrator to the master menu. Note the citizen now appears in our database, but is not active. To make the citizen active, the administrator must provide a minimum of information that will be shown shortly.
When a new citizen is added to the database, both a folder and a notepad icon are automatically created. The folder is named using the citizen's assigned label, following an established naming convention. This folder can be accessed through standard Windows file navigation. In addition to the folder created, a notepad file is generated at the time as well. This file is intended for storing supplemental information or important notes about the citizen. It serves as a convenient reference point for administrators and care providers.
Let's now click the new citizen we just added and see what information is needed. At this point, you are presented the control screen, which is where most of the account administration takes place for each individual citizen. Here's a closer look at this very important screen and what functions are available. The first thing we notice is a question mark to the left of the bullet items. If you now take your cursor and hover over any of them, additional information about this function should appear. The next thing we notice is that many items are underlined in blue, which are simply links to other screens to help complete this particular function. Let's click a few and see what we get.
It's a list of the most asked questions from our subscribers. We now return to the control screen by clicking Finished. This screen should start to look familiar. Let's now enter the basic information needed for this citizen. I'll start with the phone number to monitor by clicking Set Phone Number link. And after filling it in with the citizen's phone number to monitor, it might appear as follows.
It's now time to set the time zone. You are now required to enter the time zone for this subscriber's phone number to monitor, and whether it's called Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC, or Greenwich Mean Time, or even Zulu time, the time zone will always be expressed in a positive or negative offset in hours. For my example, New York has a UTC of -5 hours. I'll also indicate this location uses daylight savings time as well. Next, we'll set the citizens' call schedules. These are the days and times the citizens can expect to receive care calls. Let's simply click and select the appropriate choices, and here are those choices. After we make our selection, we simply click Save Changes, which, besides saving the information, also returns us to the control screen. Now from this screen, we'll set our notification procedure by clicking Set New Contacts.
And similar to setting a different country code for the phone number to monitor, contacts can also be set to other country codes as well. And of course, language preferences can be set to any that appear in the pull-down menus. For example's sake, I'll just use one responder, the primary responder. And after entering the information, it might look like this. To add more calls per day, click the Add New Medication Call link. And although it's shown as a medication call, in actuality it can be for any reason, since the administrator can change any of the 4 recorded elements for each subscriber. More about this ability will be explained later. Once again, to see any specific call schedule, just hover your cursor over the call in question.
Then there's the ability to personalize any of the 4 elements that comprise the typical care message. These 4 elements are known as greeting, menu, the OK response, and the not OK response. To change any one of these elements, click Record New Audio Link, and the following screen will appear. You then call the number shown and enter the recording number when requested. At that point, you'll be guided through our interactive voice response systems to record, change, and/or verify the appropriate elements for this citizen. It should be noted that the information displayed expires in 24 hours. Here's what our default elements sound like.
Hi, this is your daily checkup call. If everything is okay, press 1. If you need help, press 3. Thank you. Goodbye. Because you need help, someone will be called right away. If this is a serious emergency, hang up and dial 911. Goodbye.
If no changes are made to messages for any specific citizen, then citizens will hear CARE's default messages. Let's now review another option available to the administrators of this account, and that's the ability to set certain days the service should be set inactive. Next is the optional feature known as I am OK, which is always available to the citizens, or they may simply ignore it. I am OK also happens to be our recommended way to implement call reassurance in general. In this protocol, the subscriber will typically call in every day to indicate they are OK for today. If by chance the citizen forgets to call in, the care system remembers to call using the citizen's regular calling schedule. It should be noted that in some countries, the subscriber may be required to use the internet to indicate I am OK, instead of calling a specific phone number for that purpose. A typical way to implement the scenario is to place the toll-free number in the citizen speed dial and set their scheduled call times several hours after they wake up in the morning. In this manner, they have several hours after they rise to call in before they would receive their regularly scheduled calls. It should be noted that if a citizen receives multiple care calls per day, all the calls scheduled after the citizen calls in will be canceled for that day. Let's now move to the preferred account contact. This information is used in case it becomes necessary for our customer service to contact someone about this citizen's account. Okay, it's now time to take a peek at the Citizen's Event Log. This is a location that documents everything relevant to each citizen's account. You'll find such things as when the system called the citizen, or if and when the citizen called in to indicate their well-being, or perhaps when their account was last updated by any system administrator. Virtually everything that's important to ensure the well-being of each citizen is found here. Let's just randomly check a few citizens' event logs found in their private web portals. You display these event logs by clicking View Recent Calls. Here's an example of a citizen who typically waits for their scheduled daily 8 a.m. care call to indicate their well-being. However, it seems on June 22nd, 4 attempts to reach this citizen over a 1-hour period yielded only voicemails. At this point, CARE contacted his primary responder, who acknowledged that call. This next example shows a citizen who predominantly uses CARE's I am OK feature to indicate their daily well-being. On May 15th, this citizen forgot to call in, but received her regularly scheduled 9 a.m. call where she responded all was okay for today. This example is of a citizen who receives 3 CARE calls per day. These calls are probably for medication reminders, whereby each message this citizen received had been modified with special instructions. Finally, here's the worst case scenario for any citizen using our CARE service. In summary, if the citizen has not called in, nor responded to 4 CARE calls over a 1-hour period, then CARE alternates calling 2 different alert phone numbers, placing up to 10 calls over the course of an hour. Note only voicemails were reached for the phone number to monitor, as well as both alert contacts. Emails would have also been sent, provided that information had been entered when configuring the notification procedures. The alert condition can be reset by calling into the CARE system using our I am OK feature. The CARE administrator can also go to the citizen's private web portal and reset the alert condition as well. If neither of these are done, the CARE system will treat the next day as a fresh start and therefore continue to make calls.
Once CARE administrators have populated the citizen database, the system's reporting capabilities become a valuable tool for monitoring and analysis. To access the flexible report writer, navigate to the Administrator Master menu, or simply click the report icon located on the banner of every screen. From there, you'll be presented with a menu of reporting options. You can specify the desired report type and apply search criteria to refine your results.
Besides date ranges, you can also limit the final report to types of citizens, or perhaps even a specific citizen. Here's an example of the Alert by Citizen report. Note how each alert was described. Another useful report is the increasing alert frequency that tells CARE administrators which citizens to perhaps watch more closely. Database Systems Corp. Is headquartered in Phoenix, Arizona, and has been in business since 1978. DSC also carries an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and has been accredited since 2012. In summary, our company has developed systems and call processing technologies across all major industry categories since 1978. from churches, major corporations, governments, communities, schools, to small business operations, our products help improve the productivity of individuals and organizations. We developed CARE in 2007 and have been providing the CARE functionality ever since. Well, there you have it. Virtually everything you need to know to install and implement the ProCare computer system, as well as maintain virtually any size citizen database. If you have any questions or comments, please contact us accordingly. We are just a phone call or email away. Thank you for watching.